Atisha. Please have a seat.
Hi ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good.
So I had a look at your CV. Things look great. Are you familiar with how this case interview will take place?
Yeah, first of all, thank you ma'am for looking at the CV. And yes, I'm a bit aware about how these case interviews shall go on. I shall be given a particular case of a given industry, and then I have to analyze the whole case scenario and come up with a credible solution.
Great. So if you're ready with the pen and paper, can we begin with the interview?
Yeah, definitely ma'am.
Great. The client is a cinema house which releases films frequently. For every hit film, they make a profit, and for every flop, they incur a loss. This year, the client wants to release 60 films out of a total of 100 films being released. There is also an option to preview the film, but it has an extra cost. You have to provide directions on how the client can go about making this decision so that it could maximize its profits.
Okay, so ma'am, can you please repeat the question once again?
Right, absolutely. The client is a cinema house which releases films frequently. For every hit film, they make a profit, and for every flop film, they incur a loss. This year, the client wants to release 60 films out of a total of 100 films being released. There is also an option to preview the film, but it has an additional cost. You have to provide directions on how the client can go about making this decision while maximizing its profits.
Yeah, so can I take a couple of minutes to gather my thoughts?
Absolutely.
Okay, so before moving on further, I would like to ask certain preliminary questions.
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, so can I know the probability of a film being hit or a film being flop? And additionally, if I could have some financial figure as to what the amount of profit or loss shall be.
Right, so the probability as per past experiences has been 50-50 for a hit and a flop. For every hit film, the client is making rupees 5 crores, and for every flop film, they incur a loss of rupees 3 crores.
Okay, so 5 crores for a profit and 3 crores loss for a flop film.
Absolutely.
With probability being 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. Oh, okay, ma'am. So initially you mentioned that there is a special system to preview the films. So can I get more insights as to how these films are being previewed?
Absolutely. So the agency has a special software to preview the film, and the films can be previewed much before the release date, even a year in advance. The cinema selects n number of films that they want to preview, and the software will select the top n number of films out of 100 and help us decide which ones are going to be a hit and which ones are going to be a flop.
Okay, so do we need to preview these films at one go, or we can preview these films at different intervals?
All the films are previewed together because previewing them separately will lead to 5 times the original previewing expenditure.
Okay, so 5 times the original previewing expenditure.
To preview them separately, yes.
Okay, so I won't recommend at this stage to preview them separately. So for previewing, taking this further, can you please let me know what percentage of films are hit or flop after the previewing system? And since you mentioned that there is an extra cost involved with the previewing of films, can you please let me know the cost?
Right, so after selecting the top n films out of 100, 2/3 of them are shown to be hits, while 1/3 are shown to be flops. And the preview cost for each film is 1 crore. So for example, the cinema hall wants to preview 30 films. 20 of them will be shown to be hits and 10 will be shown to be flops. And the preview cost will be 30 crores.
Okay, so essentially 2/3 of them are hit, 1/3 of them comes out to be flop, and 1 crore is the cost of previewing one film. Okay, so additionally, can you please let me know regarding the accuracy of this previewing system?
Sure, so it's not 100% accurate. 75% of the films are actually a hit, while the rest 25% are flops.
Okay, 75 are hit and 25 are flop. Okay, so based on the information provided, I think I'll be taking 3 different approaches. The first one being in which all the films are previewed, the second one being in which no film is previewed, and the third one being where some of the films are being previewed and some are not being previewed.
Sure, seems like a good approach. You can go ahead.
So let's take the first case in which all of the films are being previewed. Since we only need 60 films that are hit according to the previewing system, it makes sense to only preview 90 films so that we get a 2/3, that is 60 hit films after the system. So once we get 60 hit films, the actual number of hit films from this segment shall be 45 hit films and 15 flop films, since there was a 3-to-1 ratio after previewing, right? So from the 45 hit films, there will be a profit of 45 into 5, that will be 225 crores, and a loss from the 15 flop films amounting to 45 crores. So the net amount here comes out to be 180 crore. But we haven't included the previewing cost in this. So once we include the previewing cost, 1 crore per film, 90 crores for 90 films, the total profit in this scenario comes out to be 90 crores. So if we preview 90 films, the total profit in this scenario is coming out to be 90 crores. Moving on to the next scenario in which no film is being previewed. The films are being released randomly. Since there was a 1:1 ratio in this, 30 films here will be flop and 30 films will be hit. Per hit film, there is a profit of 5 crores amounting to 150 crores of profit, and since there is a loss of 3 crores on every flop film, the total loss shall amount to 90 crores. In this scenario, the profit is coming out to be 60 crores. Since there is no previewing cost, the profit shall remain out to be 60 crores only. Moving on to the final case in which some films are being previewed and some are not. So I'm taking that 60 films are being previewed, so that we analyze the 60 films. After we analyze the 60 films, out of those 60 films, 40 will be shown as hit and 20 will be shown as flop. So here we ignore this 20 flop films and these shall not be released in the film. From the 40 films, 30 films will be actually hit and 10 will be actually flop, because there is again a 3:1 ratio. From the 30 films actually released, there shall be a profit of 150 crores only, 150 crores, right? And from the 10 films flop, there shall be a loss of 30 crores. This amounts to 120 crores. But we need to take care that we have released only 40 films right now. So for the rest of 20 films, what I have done is basically release the 20 films randomly out of the 40 movies bucket that were not being previewed. So once we release them without previewing, there's a 1:1 relation, and 10 of them will be hit, 10 of them will be flop, relating to 50 crores of profit and 30 crores of loss, totally amounting to 20 crores of profit for this 20 films. So this amounts to 120 crores of profit for those 40 films and 20 crores of profit for those 20 films, totally amounting to 140 crores of profit. But again, the cost of previewing is not included in this. Since we previewed only 60 films, we shall be deducting those 60 crores over here. This shall amount to 80 crores. So in the case where we preview all the films, that is 90 films, we get a profit of 90 crores. In the case where we preview no film, we get a profit of 60 crore. And in the case where we preview only some of the films, we get a profit of 80 crores. So as per my recommendation, I would say that we should preview every film that we release, because that is the best scenario, and once we follow that scenario, the cinema hall shall be profitable.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that, Atishay. I think that was a great analysis, and I love how you broke it down into 3 cases. With that, I think we can come to the end of this case. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.